hopefully saw that, but my camera literally just fell. How is everyone? Happy Tuesday and welcome to day 2 of the Summer of Love. And we are going to talk today all about how to attract the right partner for you and only you. So hope everyone's having an amazing Tuesday. Definitely, it's definitely June in San Diego. I would love to hear if you guys are watching this live or watching the replay. Just post below. Say, I'm watching it live. Let me know. I want to hear from you guys and would love to hear any big takeaways that you're getting from this. Okay, so back to summer, the Summer of Love series. Summertime in San Diego is really, really interesting. I'll tell you a secret, or not so big secret if you happen to be watching this and you live in San Diego or you're local from here. June is called June gloom. We have May gray and June gloom, and it's literally, if you live fairly close to the coastline, which I do, it's covered with fog or cloud cover for the first half of the day, and usually in the afternoon is when the sun starts to peek out. So lo and behold, as we were starting, the sun started to peek out. Yay! And the weather is notoriously mild this time of year, and it tends to heat up in July through, oh my gosh, we have great weather, like up into the 80 degrees through December. I mean, we have great weather all year round, but September and October are 2 of my favorite months here because it's warm and the tourists are gone. So anyways, hi Nikki, hi Patricia. Wanted to say hi to everyone. Send me some hearts. Let me know. Obviously, if you're watching now or you're watching the replay. We're going to talk about 3 tips on how to attract the right partner to you. Okay? The right partner for you. Hi, Renee. Oh, cool. There's a bunch of you guys showing up. I know it usually takes a couple minutes, but I want to make this quick and concise, and I want to help you. So summertime, as I mentioned, a little quick review from yesterday. I talked, and I would highly recommend, if you haven't already watched yesterday's live, it's really helpful in what we're going to be talking about today. So I talked about how to distinguish, how to identify characteristics, how to attract the right person, and then today it's similar, how to identify the right partnership, because attraction is great. Like we can go out there, we can smile. I teach a 3-second smile, or it's more like a 6-second smile. You know, there are different ways to attract people, but you want to make sure you know what you want first. You know, I talk about this all the time. A lot of times, you know, people have spent more time trying to figure out what their next vacation is, or what next big screen TV or automobile they're going to invest in, then what is, you know, then the most important area of their life and what that looks like to you. So one thing I can tell you, when you're with someone, when you're on a date, okay, how to identify if someone is good for you. Your body does not lie. Hold on, I'm getting notifications. All kinds of weird stuff is happening. So anyway, sorry about that, you guys. Got momentarily distracted, but your body does not lie. So learn how to tune into your body. So here's some ways to do that. When you're getting together with someone. So when you're meeting on a date, quick coffee, you literally want to take a few deep breaths before you meet them. And when you're with them in person, start to figure out how your body is, like how you feel when you're with them. And a lot of times as women, something that we do when we're not certain and we're not feeling as strong within our value and our values, we tend to do this thing called trying to please the person that's in front of us. So trying to adapt to what we think that they want in a woman, especially if we're attracted to them, right? So your plan when you're first getting to know a potential man or a potential partner for you is to pay attention to your body and how your body feels. How easy is it for you to be yourself? Ask yourself that question. Can I be myself with this person? And if you say, you might be saying to yourself, well, Cindy, I'm really uncomfortable meeting a man one-on-one. I'm really uncomfortable dating. It's scary for me. It's really hard. I understand. And, I've been there myself. And the thing that I want to tell you is to breathe and notice what's coming up for you. Notice, notice what your natural body and your brain is telling itself, right? And even out yourself to that person. I'm feeling a little bit nervous. I don't know why. You're making me nervous. Any man is going to love the fact that you're with him and you're feeling a little bit nervous because it means that you care. It means that you care to make a great impression. You care about yourself, So all of these kinds of things take practice. So the tip when it comes to that, you guys, is pay attention to your body. Pay attention. Also, get really curious about the person in front of you. Okay, so I've given you 1, 2, 3 things that you can do. And I want to keep this super simple. So get really curious about the person in front of you. And start to figure out, my value system is this. I really value someone that has that is driven in life, has, loves to laugh, has a good sense of humor, can make fun of themselves, and, hopefully we get to have fun together, right? And, you will probably value some other things, and I go over something that's called the Fabulous 5. That's something all my clients laugh at me. They don't laugh at me because they literally carry their Fabulous 5 with them everywhere. It's so ingrained in them. And so I teach this, and I'm going to teach you guys how to create this yourselves. It can be kind of challenging to do. Like I said, it can be kind of challenging to do on your own, but I'm here to support you in creating it because it's really fun. And once you get this down, you start to look at when you're meeting men, you're out there dating, you're out there getting to know men and having fun because this is the summer of love. You will find yourself saying, oh, this fits with me. This may or may not fit with me. You get really curious. So now, and also start to think about your personality. Are you someone that goes, okay, this absolutely isn't going to work and it's easy for you to push something away? Or do you overcompensate and make excuses for men? right? You think, oh, maybe he's going through a hard time, or this isn't really who he is, or he cheated on his last 2 wives, but he's not going to do that with me. Whatever it is, right? He's really, he seems to have changed his ways. So you really want to look at what your values are, right? And also have some fun with this. Be really present and notice the thoughts that are coming up as you're with this person. Okay, so I want to tell you a couple of things. You might be thinking, well, I go out on dates and all these guys do is talk about themselves. Well, men will do that if they're feeling nervous. So here's a couple of ways to help ground you and actually ground him. Put your hand on his arm. Just a nice, gentle tap, touch on the arm. If you find him doing things like bragging about himself, right? Maybe he's bragging, maybe he's saying, I developed all this land across here, and we did this, and that, and it blah, blah, blah. And maybe you're going, I don't really care. All I want to do is get to know you, right? I don't care about all your accomplishments, or that makes me really turned off that it seems like you're bragging. Well, the thing is he's trying to let you know, in the only way that he knows how, that he can protect and provide for you, that he can achieve things in life, and he wants to get the girl. Okay, so have empathy and compassion for him, as well as you have empathy and compassion for yourself on this journey. And when you get curious about them and identifying the right partner for you is, the third thing is finding out what they want and if it's in alignment with what you want. So what do you want in this area of your life? So maybe, I'm going to point out somebody out, Nikki. I know Nikki, and I know her really well. And I know when I first started working with Nikki, and I mentioned this yesterday, she said, I want an extraordinary life and I want an amazing partnership where we look after one another and we have our families connected together and we travel, we adventure, and we get to really share our lives. He's my best friend, right? And we have independent lives too. So what Nikki wants is an extraordinary partnership. And Nikki wasn't 100% on wanting to get married again, even though I think you're going to get married again. She was really wanting a great partnership, someone to share her life with. So whatever your vision is, do not be afraid to admit it. Don't be afraid to share about it. So if a man's like, well, what are you looking for? You know what? I'm looking to meet the love of my life. I'm looking to have extraordinary love. I want to bring in my soulmate. I'm looking to get married. I would love to have a family. And maybe you guys are like, oh my gosh, if I say that, it's going to scare him off. Well, if he's the wrong guy, it's definitely going to scare him off. I'm sorry. I'm on a table and I keep hitting it, so I'm going to stop. But so I want you, look at what do you want and be really, oh, hi, Helene. Gosh, I'm seeing all these great faces on here. Carrie Ann, Bianca. Gosh, I haven't seen some of you guys in so long. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And please feel free to, list any questions that are coming up. I'll be happy to answer you, happy to coach you. This is all about really supporting you and your vision. And I know from being I used to be a high-end matchmaker. Many of you guys know summertime was the best time to make connections and turn it into lasting romance. So this is a great opening. It's like there's this huge canvas that's opened up that has, everybody's out, everybody's doing more things. Everybody's having, it's a more festive time of year, right? How many more parties are you invited to? How many more events? And what I would encourage you to do, this is another Facebook Live, but I'm going to say it anyways, is that, look at some events in your local area and really look at what do you want to attend? What do you want to do? Maybe there's a, hot air balloon event there is events everywhere all the time, especially this time of year. There's street festivals, there's things to do, and there's lots of people out. So doing things, forcing yourself to go do things, and maybe you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't have anybody to go with. Go by yourself. You want to go, there's so many events you want to go to. It's crazy, right? Helene was just saying there's so many events she wants to go to next year. It's crazy. It's if you open up and you press Google or you look at things, I have the same thing going on too. It's like it's deciding those things, and then there are certain events I always get excited about that come forth this time of year. So it's I'm hearing sirens. So anyway, doing those things, stretching yourself out of your comfort zone, going to do it anyway, right? So, but getting back to attracting the right partner for you, when you ask them, let's just say you're out on a first meeting, you're out on a meet and greet from somebody that you connected with on, Plenty of Fish or Bumble or something like that. And you guys start talking and, maybe you start talking about the dating site. What I would encourage you to do is not talk about your frustrations with the dating site. There's something that I've heard for years and years, and this is something that I really believe to be true, especially when it comes to dating, is if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Okay? So, and same is true when it comes to exes. So if you don't have anything nice to say about an ex, especially when you're first meeting someone, you don't say anything at all. Just say, he definitely had some great qualities. It didn't work out, and here I am, and I'm committed to creating lasting love, right? Whatever you're committed to creating, stay connected to that, right? And because men don't tell you this, but they're very, very discerning as they're first getting to know you. And even if you have a really challenging story and there were some really crappy things that have happened, and I get it, we've all been there, they don't know you very well. And then they start to think, well, I wonder if she's always picking guys that are like this, right? Or so they start to they get concerned, right? So they look at what, especially a high quality man, he's looking at what, he's discerning, right? He's taking everything into consideration as he's getting to know you. I hope you hear that. So ask him, so Joe, what are you looking for? And, and some men will say it right on their profile. They say, I'm looking for my soulmate. I'm looking for a long-term committed relationship. I want to get married again. They will say that. And I've literally had women ask me, are men just saying that in their profile? And no, they are not, unless they're a psychopath. And I don't want to talk about psychopaths today because that's a whole nother story. But no, they're really being honest because, like you, they want to filter out of anyone that's not looking for that. So if you've connected with somebody and say, oh, Joe, I noticed you were saying on your profile that you love skiing and you surf in the summer and you really want a long-term committed relationship. That's awesome. What does that look like? What does that mean to you in your life? Or do you see yourself getting married to the right woman? Because, the reason why we might get anxiety about talking about that is because we get the feeling that they might think that we want to get married to them on a first date. And that's not what it's about. You're generally inquiring. Well, so if you met the right woman, would you get married? They'll tell you, yeah, absolutely I would. I would like to do that. And so on and so forth. So if you're talking to a man, or if he's like, you know what, I don't really see that for myself, but I see myself being in a great partnership. I see us living together, blah, blah, blah. If marriage is really important to you, you want to think about that. And you want to think about, would this really be the right relationship for me? Why is marriage important to you? Maybe you want a family and that is important to you based on, could be based on your faith, could be anything. But, I think that I know that when you know who you are and you know what you're seeking, it's going to be easier not to make up excuses or make exceptions for someone that may not be aligned. How many of you guys have, just gone out there without really a plan and, met a guy you were attracted to, and, he told you 2 or 3 dates in, he wasn't really looking for anything serious, and then next thing you know, you really like him, and there's a part of you that thinks, I know he really likes me too, and I can convince him that he really wants a relationship. Who's done that? I have in the past. And it's caused me a lot of heartache and pain because, men aren't like women. Women are always wanting love. Not that men don't always want love too, but the difference is with women is we will give up. We will sacrifice anything for love. We will, shift our lives for love, right? Sometimes, as we get older, we tend not to want to, but, it's more of a tendencies of ours. We'll overgive for love. And, so with that, it does take some time to get to know a man, but the first 3 dates, he will tell you everything. I want you to hear me on that. He will tell you everything you need to know about him. And you get to get curious about the things that he says. Try not to make assumptions. So, and let me give you an example around that. I had a client of mine that I worked with, and she's amazing, and she had, gone through some challenges. Now she's with the love of her life. I'm so excited. But she had dated a man for about close to a year, and they were long distance, and he ghosted her, let's just say 11 months into their relationship. Ghosted her. Meaning he stopped reaching out to her. She made several attempts to reach out to him, and he stopped all communication. So she tried sending smoke signals. She reached out to me, and we talked about it. And after we started working together, I'm like a detective. I'm a researcher. So I started, talking to her and asking her more questions, right? Like peeling back the layers. And she said, it was interesting. He had said something to me that, oops, hold on, please. Oh goodness. Hold on. Somebody's at my door, you guys. So sorry. I want to finish this story, but I need to open up my door. How many times this has happened to me on a Facebook Live? A lot. Okay. Hold on. Come in. Okay. Somebody's coming in, and they don't know what I'm doing. That's what makes it all fun. So anyway, I was coaching her, and she had said, the funny thing is when we first started dating, he had told me that the last woman that he had been with, he realized he didn't think that it was going to work out, so he just stopped calling her. And what she had come up with in her mind, that she figured that it just petered out, it just drifted. Well, no, he just stopped cold turkey with no explanation. So you want to get curious about people and what their patterning's like, and and some of this does take time. I've known many women that have been so strong and convicted, and we really drilled down their fabulous 5 and help them with their vision of what they desired in their life. And the vision is knowing what you want. What do I want, and why? Why is this important to me? Why do I want why do I want partnership? Why do I want marriage? What will that do for me? So answer those questions, in your life, and then go out there with a purpose of getting really curious, feeling your body. How does this feel? And if your body's feeling something funny, and even if it sounds like everything he's saying is great and something feels funny in your body, have you ever felt that way? I know I have. Then it's something to listen to. And that's why I recommend getting to know several people at once. Dating with a purpose, but also on a deeper level, you guys, also, not getting too attached to what the outcome's going to look like with this one person. Anyways, I hope this is helpful, because that is the way, if you're present, if you're connective, and even if you look back on some of your past relationships that haven't worked out, right? Look at, okay, so this didn't work out, and look at the positives, look at the good lessons in it, but also look at, was there something that he said in the very beginning on the 1 through 3 dates? Or, what did I do? Did I, was it super fun? And did we just, get caught up in passion really early on? What happened? And what are things that, if I had been listening to my body, or really listening to him, or getting more curious, maybe I would have picked up on? I'm not saying I don't believe in regrets, but what I do believe in is, taking our past experiences and getting support and moving forward, right? We all have blind spots. So I hope this has been helpful today. I'm sending you all lots of love. I will see you tomorrow with our 3rd day of Summer of Love. And again, it's 12 p.m. Pacific every single day. Let me know if you're here live or you're watching the replay. Again, feel free to ask any questions, and I'll make sure that I answer them all. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, everyone.